We're reporting a story that has not been told in Atlanta. It's the Shelton Holloway story. We have with us this morning the filmmaker and representatives that are working along with him. So we have with us this morning Mr. Willie Spade, who is the filmmaker for the Shelton Holloway story. And Willie, you can introduce the guest you have with you this morning.
Good morning to you, Dr. White. First, let me start off by saying thank you so much for having me on your show. We have Mr. Michael Stokely on the line as well, who's also been with me from day one on this incredible true story.
Okay, now, Willie, tell our listeners who is Shelton Holloway and what happened to him.
Shelton Jerome Holloway is right now currently a 43-year-old African-American male with a 30 IQ, who's mentally retarded. Back in 1987, he was found guilty of surgically removing Patricia Ann Hanner, who is a 16-year-old African-American female organs. Her eyes, liver, kidney, and heart were surgically removed.
And they're saying that a mentally retarded man surgically removed these organs.
That's correct. Yes, ma'am.
So now, was it proven that, they weren't just cut out, but it was with precision that these organs were removed?
Yes, ma'am. It has been proven. According to the autopsy report, it clearly stated that Patricia Ann Hanner was murdered by rape and suffocation. But of course, as you know, God is ahead of my life. I've been privileged enough to bring on some private investigators to do a lot of legwork for me. And once we got into the story, we found out that not only Miss Hanner was killed by two Caucasian doctors, they surgically removed her organs for the black market.
Now, if it is known that these two white doctors murdered her, have they been arrested or tried, or have they been at all connected officially to this murder?
They have been connected, but what we're doing right now, as Mr. Stokely can tell you, we just filed a petition against Troy King, who is the Attorney General in the state of Alabama, to reopen up this case. One of the things that stood out about this case was Mr. Holloway's signatures on his confession form and also the Miranda rights form. As you know, Dr. White, a person with a 30 IQ doesn't clearly understand the meaning of Miranda rights. Mm-hmm. Clearly on those signatures, someone else signed those signatures for Mr. Holloway.
So now, Mr. Stokely, why do you think these doctors murdered this young woman?
Well, within a 30-mile radius, you have the doctor and then you have the son, which is also a doctor.
And they're both are they both in practice today?
Yes, they're in practice today. Well, I don't know if the father is in practice today, but I know the son still is.
He still is too.
Okay, and they had a monopoly over this town in York, Alabama. They pretty much ran the whole city. And the son was known for going at young black girls. He would sit and watch them leave the school on a daily basis. And when we went to looking for, are there other bodies?
There are other young black women that have been murdered?
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
It has been.
Within like a 30-mile radius of that town.
And so totally, how many young black women have been murdered in this town?
Well, I can answer that for you. According to my investigation, it's been 4 other black female was murdered by these doctors.
Now, and you were saying that they've been murdered by these doctors. If you know this, why don't the authorities know this and have arrested these white doctors and put them in jail?
Well, again, Dr. White, that's why we're fighting so hard right now against Troy King, who is the Attorney General in the state of Alabama. We have so many people behind this story that's been calling Troy King to reopen up this case on this petition, but yet to this day, this gentleman has yet to return any phone calls, period.
So now you're saying that for this one young woman that we're talking about, her organs were surgically removed.
Her eyes, liver, kidney, and heart were surgically removed.
Now, what about the other women that you've talked about this morning that were murdered? Were those bodies also surgically altered in some way?
According to my investigator, yes, ma'am. Those bodies were also those organs were surgically removed as well.
So then why do you think these doctors are murdering these women?
Well, as you know, the black market is a huge business in this country. Your organs is worth a lot of money. Unfortunately, these doctors, they have money to pay people off. And again, that's one of the reasons why we're coming so hard at the Attorney General trying to reopen this case up. We want to stop another innocent black female from being killed. These guys are targeting low-income black women. Mainly, that's what they're targeting.
So when was the last female murdered?
According to my investigation, the last female was murdered in 2001.
And no one to this date has arrested these doctors or questioned them as persons of suspect, persons of interest?
Not a single person. As we speak right now, one of your listeners right now, Dr. White, we'll see one of these doctors today. As we speak right now, someone have an appointment today to see one of these doctors.
And now, is this a small town?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. It's a very small town.
So then, probably all of the black people there are aware that these doctors possibly could be involved in this case. Is that correct?
You're 100% correct. Actually, all the pretty much every African American in that town know what's going on, but they are so afraid to come forward to talk about this story.
But my question is, are black folks still sitting in the waiting rooms of these doctors? And we'll get your answer when we return to News and Talk 1380 WAOK.